So in 2022, we have two shoes. There are two of what are considered the first to feature Zoom Air in basketball products. The first Air Jordan, which was the Air Jordan 12. They're re-releasing, even though the release date got pushed. And then the Nike Zoom Flight 95 as well, one of Jason Kidd's most known models. But there was a shoe before all of that that actually featured Zoom Air, but at the time it was called Tensile Air. And this is that shoe. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we're gonna talk about these bad boys right here. This is one of my favorite basketball shoes of all time. This is the Nike Air Go LWP. LWP was a performance line way back in the day. Not way back in the day, but way back in the mid 90s. And LWP stands for lightweight performance. There were multiple lightweight performance models. This was the basketball model, again, the Air Go LWP. There was also the Air Challenge LWP, which was for Andre Agassi, as well as the Air Zoom LWP, which was a running shoe. I believe there was also a football cleat or a football boot as well. I just can't remember the name of them right now.
Oops, sorry.
But the LWP line only lasted through those models. There was not like a continuation of them. So like a Hyperdunk, for example, where there is a continuation series from the Hyperdunk 1 or 2008 all the way to whatever year that they stopped at. I think it was like 2017 or something like that. These did not get that same effect, unfortunately. However, again, this was the birth of Zoom Air, but at the time, the Zoom Air was not called Zoom Air, it was called Tensile Air. And the reason being is because of the way that the cushion is built. Essentially, inside of the air unit, there are tensile fibers that are stretched to their maximum potential. And then inside of that airbag, they are filling or, blowing air into it until it's like fully
extended?
Maybe, I guess.
Inflated?
Yes, thank you. Only 2 tries. That was awesome. And then when the wearer steps on it, it will compress and then deflect back into its shape, giving you a snappy, springy ride. It was a low profile cushion setup meant for speedy players, but it didn't derive from basketball or running or football. It wasn't even intended for performance in the first place. They actually made Tensile Air for women's shoes.
Oh my God!
So yeah, back before 1995, they created what is known, or what was known as Tensile Air. They slapped that stuff inside of the forefoot of a lot of women's shoes, high heels to be specific, because as you know, them not comfortable. Anyway, so on top of that, they were implemented in other various dress shoes. I actually just found a pair on eBay. They look like I don't know what you call them, but like, I guess I'll put a picture here. But Nike actually saw the cushion and was just like, you know what, man? It's probably not gonna be too successful in this casual stuff. We should probably move it over into performance and see how that does. And what do you know? It turned into being the best thing that they've ever done. Like Zoom Air is pretty much their mainstay. Like I know that a lot of people use foams nowadays, not people, brands, but Zoom Air is really where it's at. Zoom Air done right, I swear there's nothing better than it, just nothing. And these bad boys are the first ones to put it in a basketball shoe, which I just think is fantastic. There's also this famous story, I don't know if it's super famous nowadays, but it was like in the Kicks magazines and all of that stuff back in the day by Slam. But essentially that's how we ended up with the Air Pippin 1 PE that doesn't have the full-length Air Max unit. It has Zoom Air instead, because Pip got his first signature shoe after following up with all the up-tempo lines, because that was pretty much his thing. He started off in the flight models, then he started wearing all of the up-tempo models, so he was kind of like their main guy that would, hey, Scotty, wear this, we're gonna put you on the poster, and we'll cut you a check. Probably not a big one, because,
Contract.
Yeah, contract issues. Bad management. But again, once he got his first signature shoe, they just kind of followed in theme or in suit with what he was already wearing, which was all the up-tempo stuff. But MJ at the time just went from the Air Jordan 11 to the Air Jordan 12, and that was the first time he actually tried Zoom Air, and he was like, yo, you've got to try this. So there's actually a few professional NBA games where Scotty is not wearing his shoe, even though he has it. Instead, he's wearing the Air Jordan 12 because Jordan was adamant that you've got to switch your shit up, get rid of the heavy ass Air, and go with this low profile springy setup. It's the best ever. And what do you know? MJ was right. Pip liked it so much that he had them retool his own signature shoe. Not for any of us, just for him. And that's where we got that PE and everything with Zoom Air instead of Max Air. Now this particular shoe, if we're gonna look at it in detail, oh my God, look at the outsole. It is gorgeous. This thing is amazing. I know that this particular shoe in this particular colorway is most known for being worn by Penny Hardaway, but there's also another Hardaway that actually was known for wearing this shoe. He's in the promotional stuff as well. His name was Tim Hardaway. He had what was known as the killer crossover, or the UTEP two-step. But anyways, this guy right here has herringbone from top to bottom. It's awesome. Also, if you're looking at that bottom window and thinking, is that the Zoom Air? No, actually it's not. Inside of this Phylon midsole, super lightweight Phylon to be specific, there's actually an air sole unit right there in the heel, and then in the forefoot, there's one of these standard forefoot Zoom units. This was kind of like the original shape of them. They started messing with it afterwards, making them articulated. The new articulated Zoom units are not the same as the old ones. The old ones were crazy. They were like super chambered and stuff. The Air Jordan 14, the Nike Zoom glove, I believe the GPs, the one with the ratchet, I think that was the GP2s. Were they the GP2s? They were the first GPs. The first Gary Paynes were the gloves.
The one with the rollerblade straps. Here's a picture. You can go check out the video.
Sure, sarcasm all day. But anyways, the upper on these guys is fully synthetic. We've got synthetic nubuck, we've got synthetic leather, we've got the most gorgeous shade of blue. I love this man. Also, the flight script logo. It just doesn't get any better than this. Actually, it does. On the tongue, there's a little jewel to swoosh on there, man. Like, this is so cool. Nike Air is on the back. The pull tab says lightweight performance. It really doesn't get any better than this right here. Like, this is one hell of a shoe. Also, there's not a traditional tongue. This is the beginning of what we now know as modern day footwear, where it's a sleeve shoe. Like, that's what this is. This whole middle section of the sneaker is damn near like a neoprene, and then they layered the things on top of it and sewed it directly to the inner booty. This is a neat shoe. I've never weighed these before, by the way, so I do want to just know what they weigh in ounces. 12.60 ounces. So not super lightweight if we're talking about modern day, because I believe like some of the lowest have been in the 9-ounce range. But we also know that when they get that low in weight, they become increasingly dangerous to play in, because that means that the upper is mad thin. There's only one shoe that I know that weighs damn near nothing that was actually a great performer, and that was the Nike Kobe 80 NXT 360. It's a mouthful every time.
That's what she said.
If you were interested in grabbing a pair of these, which I don't know if I would recommend right now, because this is the last retro of the shoe, and these released back in 2010. We're now in 2022. They're 12 years old. Some of them might not be wearable. Like, we'll just be very honest about that. Like, sometimes the glue gets dried up and they might separate and all that stuff. It's not easy to re-glue something like this to this type of synthetic and everything. It's a big pain in the ass. I tried with those penny twos. It was not a good thing. So yeah, these things right here, I hope get another retro soon, because 12 years is 12 years too long, especially when we see the same Jordan retros every 3 to 5 years. Like, why can't we get some of this? I just really want these back. I want them back in more colorways on top of that. Some of the original ones, like what was in that promo image. There was a Chicago looking one. Instead of the blue, it was red. Do you see the laces? Those little dots in there? These are those 90s laces that I keep telling you guys about. These are awesome. What do you think?
Go find them at Ropeplace Supply, I'm sure.
Can you?
Probably.
Well, don't promise them something if you don't know.
I said I'm sure.
That means that you're sure.
I would have said I guarantee it if I knew for a fact.
To me, I'm sure is like damn near a guarantee.
No.
But anyways, that is the very first Nike basketball shoe, or this is the very first Nike basketball shoe to feature Zoom Air, originally known as
Tensile Air.
She was listening. And I think that these are f***ing awesome. So again, this year we're being treated to 2 pairs of shoes that are kind of like known for, you know, the Zoom. Like the Zoom 95s were the first one to say Zoom. This was not known as the Air Zoom Go LWP or whatever, it's the Air Go. So yeah, so that shoe is the first one to use the Zoom name, and then the Jordan 12 was the first Jordan to use the tech and everything as well. First full length, by the way. And so yeah, I just think that these are a special shoe in history, and I think they should be celebrated and, I don't know, retroed again. They're just so dope. Do you like the way that these look?
No.
What? And on that note, we're gonna go now. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the support, and until next time, guys, have a good one.
I forgot to.
To what?
It's just this.
It's all the same,
No.
but it is.